you that as we go at 118 between Jones and Steve Martin, that we're watching this meet after the Iowa State meet, and it's just a little bit of a change in chronological order from what actually occurred, so that we don't have any way of telling you what happened in Iowa State, although you already know. Now you see the move made by Zeke Jones of Arizona State in on the legs against Steve Martin. There are two freshmen here, two redshirt freshmen. Arizona State is in the maroon with the gold trim, and the black uniforms, of course, are Iowa's. Steve Martin against Zeke Jones. And Tim, these it's interesting to watch these people because they both had older brothers who are very well-known wrestlers.
I'm really excited about this match right here. I think it's going to be a dandy. They both come from families that had All-American brothers. We remember Johnny Jones from Iowa State, 118-pounder, about 10 years ago. We have Billy Martin, that wrestled for Oklahoma State about 12, 15 years ago. And it's just going to be an outstanding match.
This is the future here for some of these teams. And Zeke Jones has had a fine record this year. He's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. He's on the shot there. He took the low-level attack at Steve Martin, and still looks like he's in very good position for the takedown here with just about a minute and a half left in the first three-minute period. He's trying to control the legs.
He's got to come around and get his hips free here. This is going to be a situation where the physicalness of Zeke Jones, I think, is probably going to tell here.
But it didn't that time because Martin comes back and he's in the same position Jones was in.
Now he's got to finish. He's got to come off his knees.
This is Steve Martin.
Zeke, fight it! Move it! Fight it, Zeke!
And Jones took the leg away from him. So now we're back early. And a nice move by Jones with a high crotch across to the other side. And it's now 2-0.
Bobby Douglas calls Zeke Jones the best athlete on his team. And I think that we're going to see some good athletic prowess among both of them this time.
And Jones now leads 2-0. As you said earlier, these are matches that Arizona State feels it absolutely has to win if it has a chance.
I think you're going to see Zeke Jones put the legs in here and try to score some back points by getting the legs in. And I think that here we go with the hip tilt. See, he's loading him up on his hips, and he's scoring.
But he has to hold him for 2 seconds this year. That's one of the changes in the rules, as you know.
A little more control this year they're asking for.
Nothing there.
The voice you hear in the background, too, is that of Phil Henning. We have a microphone on the referee, as usual, so you can hear what he's talking about.
I think if you see anything that Steve Martin is susceptible to, and that's a legger. And we have a legger in Zeke Jones. And so we have a situation here with strength against weakness.
There's the end of the first period, and the riding time.
Up, down on your feet to defer.
The riding time is a minute for Jones.
He defers to Iowa.
Jones defers his choice.
Down, starting the second period.
And Steve Martin of Iowa picks down, starting the second period.
Both real intense wrestlers. I think that Zeke Jones really shows a good, basic, sound, fundamental style. And
okay, you want some injury time? Injury time, Iowa.
On this replay, you see Zeke in on that single there, driving through and controlling the hips, and that's so important.
And that was Jones' takedown. They each had a single leg shot that failed, and then Jones made his second move pay off.
These two have never met. They both have a lot of freestyle experience. They've both been wrestling a good portion of their lives. And it's really amazing being at the same weights that they've never met. They've been place winners in the National Junior Championships, but they have never met until
that is something these days because kids from all over the country see each other lots and lots of times. Steve Martin against Zeke Jones. The reason we're taking time here is because Martin hurt himself.
I think you're going to find that Martin, he's probably really a 114-pounder internationally. And so he is not cutting a lot of weight to get to 118. And that leaves him a little less physical.
Martin moves into the down position. We'll see what he does on the whistle here against Jones. Jones on top. Nice first move there by Jones. Drove him right to the mat.
Here again, he's trying for the hip tilt to score those 2 points.
Trying to load him up. So often happens these young wrestlers are not used to being on the bottom, and that's one of the last things they learn to do is come out.
Exactly, and that's sometimes where the transition between freestyle and collegiate style hurts a little bit. It takes a while to get over that once you come off a freestyle season.
Doug Brown and Tim Johnson for Iowa Public Television's College Wrestling Series. You're just watching. You haven't missed anything. We're just starting the first match here. We have gone through one period, and Jones of Arizona State on top leads 2-0.
You're seeing a strong leg ride by Zeke Jones, and he's looking to try to turn him, bring up a cradle.
Cross-face cradle if he can get it. He's really driving in it. Looks very strong.
Yeah, he had a fast tempo. He came out fast, and he really went after the Iowa wrestler.
I think he has it locked up now. And he's going to try to get some points out of this. He has his hands locked underneath where he had them. Now he's lost it. But riding time has been erased. It has been advanced tremendously. More than 2 minutes of it for Jones.
We're going to have a stalemate on the leg. 1, 2, 3.
How long is Phil Henning going to let him stay there?
Well, I'll tell you, unless he gets out to the side, he shouldn't let him stay there very long. You can't pin a man parallel, and that's where Zeke is right now, and he needs to start making the move like he is right now, but he needs to be a little more sincere about it.
Let's go, bottom man.
He's got him loaded up. This year, as we say, to get near fall points, you have to hold him in a near fall position for 2 full seconds, a count of 2.
Some coaches really are upset with that rule. It looks like they're taking the action away.
Just spacing out.
A warning against Martin for not moving on the bottom. Next time it's a point. Well, you see, we're almost at the end of the period. Jones rode him all the way.
Third period.
I'll tell you what, Jones.
Arizona State shorts.
Look at Barry Davis there, who.
There's a person that kept a fast tempo every time he got on the mat.
Yeah, he got married this summer too.
He said that his wife is training in Maine and he is training in Iowa.
She's Nan Doak, who is a great distance runner.
I said, how's that do on your marriage? And he says, you know me, when I train for wrestling, I don't want women around. I train sincerely.
Okay, here we go. There is a 2-0 score for Jones, who's on the bottom. Martin has to get some back points here, or else let his man go and get some takedown points, because it's Arizona State's Jones leading. Nice switch for 2. It's going to be 2 very quickly. Jones, 4-0.
I think that strength is showing, Doug.
Reversal.
Jones showed in the second period that he can ride, and he's now just confidently put the legs in.
That's where he likes to be, and here we go with some points.
3, 4, only 2.
Near fall points, he gets 2 for that.
Near fall.
And it's 6-0.
Now, I said that Steve isn't cutting a lot of weight, but he looks tired. Steve Martin does.
He's not away yet. He's not away yet. You gotta let him get away.
And it's 6-1 as Jones had some trouble.
Man stalling. 1 point.
And that's a point for Jones.
1 point.
He couldn't even let Martin get away. Martin's hurting.
Injury time.
Jones is really taking Martin's forte away. He's not letting him wrestle on his feet. He's putting the legs in from the top. He's cranking him over. He's really kind of putting it to him right now, Doug.
7-1 in favor of Jones. Now the next question. How do you get 8 points? He wants to go up by 8 to make it a major decision if he can, to get Arizona started well.
Well, as far as I can see right now, he has his choice. Either working on top and turning him over, or turning him loose and taking him down. He's really doing what he wants.
Let's see that near fall.
He puts the legs in here, and really it's kind of a variation of a hip tilt. He controls in the crotch there, but he keeps his legs elevated with his legs.
It was a penalty point, not an escape.
All right.
Okay, bottom man gets set.
7-1 is the score. I don't think he called an escape here.
For stalling and stopped the match before he turned and faced him. So there's no escape.
All right, it's still 6-0 then.
Ready? Let's go.
Because there was no escape given. 7-0 now. After a penalty. And here is Jones on top with only 50 seconds left to wrestle. Looking tough.
Jones is really controlling both the hips. You can see his hips are on top of the opponent's hips there, and he's really going for some points now. I think was that a 3-pointer?
That's a 3-point near fall.
3 near fall. 3 near fall.
3-point near fall. It's now 10-0 and a major decision. There's the escape.
2-point takedown.
And again, the takedown. This is now a superior decision. If he can get this takedown, which he just did.
2 takedown. Watch it now. Gotta go sideways. Can't go forward. Cross, can't go forward.
This is where he's going to try to hold him, and he gets the superior decision.
I'd say Bobby Douglas is a 118-pounder, went out and did what he wanted him to do. And I'd say Dan could be a little concerned again at 118.
That's Zeke Jones winning at 118 pounds for Arizona State over Steve Martin. They're both redshirt freshmen. But now we find
the timeout.